Hey everybody, Michelle here. It has been many months since I've recorded a video. Um, Life got in the way. What can I say? Um, you know, you name it, kid stuff, health stuff. It's just been a crazy few months. I've still been burning candles. Um, that never stopped, but my ability and inclination to record anything about said candles was definitely diminished over the last few months. But I'm happy to report that I am determined, at least for the foreseeable future, to get back to recording. And with that, I wanted to kind of kick things off with a belated, admittedly, Empties video for January candles. I burned through quite a few. And anyone who's kind of looked at my past videos will probably notice a little bit of a switch. So I started off by burning lots of 3 wicks, Goose Creek, Bath and Body Works, etc. And I still do. I still do burn those. But I've definitely shifted a little bit more toward Kringle candles. I got into those Halloween last. So not this past Halloween, but the one before that. So that was the first order I ever placed, and I'll admit I was kind of hooked after that. So anyway, let's get right into it, because otherwise this video is going to be very, very long, and my kids get home from school in 45 minutes. So let's get to it. All right, so these are going to be in no particular order. I have a tote here, so if you see me come out of screen a bit, it's because I'm reaching down into this tote that's next to me, which is full of empty candles. My whole family thinks I'm crazy. They were wondering why I had a tote of trash, essentially, in the corner of my kitchen for the last month while I was collecting these. But in the past, I've just kind of left them, like, just stacked in the corner, and this just seemed neat and tidy. They're in this, like, really pretty lavender tote. But anyway, let's get into it. All right. So I'm wondering if maybe the easiest way to do this is to go by brand, and if so, let me go and kick things off with the only candle I had from Homeworks that I emptied in January, and that was Woodland Cabin. The scent notes on this one are Nordic Spruce, Cypress, and Frosted Mint. I loved this one. I would absolutely reorder it. Smoky, a little sweet, definitely reminiscent of Kringle's Cozy Cabin, Goose Creek Holiday Embers, Bath and Body Works, I think it's Christmas Cabin, is it? Really nice. And I gotta say, like, I don't really get a whole lot of mint from this, to be honest. Really hardly any at all. So if you're not somebody who likes mint, don't let that scare you. I got really good performance out of this, and I'll be honest, I don't typically get really great performance from Homeworks candles, especially in my house. I don't know what it is, whether it's just so downstairs is open concept for me, and then upstairs is closed. I don't generally get good performance from Homeworks candles in my open concept. This one, however, did great. I never had to bring it upstairs to one of the closed off bedrooms. It was downstairs the whole burning life. Did great. I'd probably give it, not a powerhouse, but I'd probably give it a solid 7, 7.5. So yeah, highly recommend this. This was the only one I purchased. I typically, with Homeworks candles, I'll usually buy one, see how it does for me, and then reorder it. I don't usually buy multiples, even if I do like the scent notes, just in case. This one I actually did pick up from TJ Maxx. I think they no longer carry them at my TJ Maxx, so that's kind of a bummer. But I loved this candle. I would absolutely repurchase it. Let's see. I think I have... Do I have any Bath and Body Works in here? I don't know if I do. Oh, I do. I do. Hold on, let me double check here. Sorry, I'm clanging around here. Probably could have prepped a little bit better here. But like I said, I am rusty. Oh, I actually have, it looks like 2 Bath and Body Works candles. Yep, 2. Okay. So let's go into those, because I don't burn a whole lot of Bath and Body Works relative to the other brands. I mean, I could tell you why, but we can say that. We can get into that in a minute. So the first Bath and Body Works one I have here is North Pole Punch. Really pretty label. I like this a lot. Scent notes on this are Merry Cherries, Jolly Cranberries, and Dash of Sugar. Really, really sweet. I think I have to sneeze. Let's see. I'm back. Sorry about that. It's not because of the candle. I'm getting over a cold. Really, really sweet. Too sweet for me. This would not be a repurchase. It was also kind of dirty in the burn. I didn't smell this in store first. I just ordered it because I liked the scent notes. But it ended up being very sweet and like very artificial. Is this like a piece of soot that like got in my eye? Oh, it is. It's like a little piece of weird. It was like a piece of wick that broke off. Anyway, yeah, so it definitely is very fruity. And it is not an unpleasant scent, but it is pretty sweet and pretty artificial smelling for me. So to my nose anyway. Not a bad scent. Not bad. It's just not for me. So that's going to be a one and done. This next one is the Perfect Christmas. I started this one in December and finished it in January. I do tend to burn my Christmas scents, and if you're looking right above me here, I still have Santa and the Christmas tree garlands in my dining room right now. Please don't judge me. It's February. I have not taken it down. Hopefully I will in the next week. The Christmas totes are starting to come down from the garage so I can pack things away, so we'll see. Anyway, so the Perfect Christmas. Scent notes on this are fresh cut pine, cinnamon sugar, toasted marshmallow. And I'm sure, anyone who's been into candles has probably tried this one. And I actually burned through, I forgot, now that I looked at the bottom, I actually burned through two. I've got a little 2 there to remind myself that I burned through 2 of these. I think I had one in one room and one in the other. This one you can see, it burned all the way down. All the way down. I like this scent. It is your classic Christmas scent. It's nice. I do prefer the Goose Creek version of this, essentially, which is called, what is it called? This is Christmas. I'm blanking. They're very similar. I do prefer This is Christmas. I struggled, this struggled a little bit towards the end with sootiness and uneven burn. As you can see, there's kind of some wax buildup on the side. It burned down all the way to the glass in the middle, but it didn't fully pull out the last couple burns. I know I'm not alone in saying this, and so I'm not going to harp on it too much. I do struggle with performance on Bath & Body Works candles. Goose Creek, whilst they can be sooty, depending upon the fragrance, Goose Creek candles can be sooty. I typically have a much better burn experience from them, with the exception of the soot. They're not all sooty, some of them are. But in terms of burning all the way down, they typically do that for me without tunneling or any kind of weirdness. In my February Empties video, assuming that I do it and stay true to what I'm saying that I'm going to keep recording, I have a February one that was the worst. I mean, just terrible. I mean, there's like 3 separate tunnels in there. I could never get any of the wicks to stay lit at the same time. So I was burning like 1 wick to try to even them out. It was bad. But anyway, I do like the scent, but going forward, I'll probably just stick with Goose Creek and then some of the Kringle Christmas scents. Kringle does Christmas so beautifully. But anyway, recommend the scent, not so much the performance of the candle. All right, so let's get into the Goose Creeks. I think this might be the first time I have fewer Goose Creeks than Kringles, I think anyway. Hopefully I'm not fibbing here. Let's see. What do I have? I have 5 Goose Creek candles. Yeah, I was telling the truth. I actually have the most Kringles. All right, so getting into the Goose Creeks, I do have 5. The first one I have is, what is this? Warm Tangerine and Pomander. Now, I don't have the scent notes for this in front of me, but this was quite true to the scent. Would this be a repurchase? I don't know, to be honest. It definitely gives orange. Not as much on the spice as I would like it to be. Tangerine versus orange. I mean, to me, tangerine and orange are quite different. I don't know that I would say this is a tangerine versus orange fragrance. I don't know that it's truly tangerine. I will say that while I enjoyed the fragrance, and I might repurchase it if it were to come back, especially to blend it with other fragrances, because it did blend with several others I had going. If you tend to shy away from cleaner citrus scents, you may not love this. I don't mind, honestly, cleaner citrus scents. I don't mind them, really. But with that being said, if you do, you may not like this one. But this is what I mean. See, like, much cleaner even burn than that Bath & Body Works candle from before. This was not one of the really sooty ones. This one burned like all the way down to the point where I should have extinguished it before. So that's on me. That's my bad. Not a knock on the candle. It's a knock on the candle enthusiast for not being, I was with it. I was with it the whole time, so it's not like it was left unattended, but that I burned that way too close to the bottom. So shame on me. All right, next one I have here is Snowy Walk. I loved this. The year of these labels, I loved it. I have one other one with this kind of aesthetic, if you will. So I don't have the scent notes on this one either. So let me remind myself here. So this is a very crisp outdoor scent. Very, very true to its name, Snowy Walk. This reminds me of stepping outside into the fresh snow when it's been, fresh. No one's traipsed through it yet. No footprints, just a fresh snow with the trees. Like a snowy forest. I'm talking into my candle, which is probably impacting how I sound right now, but this one was really nice. I think if they came back with this, I would repurchase it. This one was slightly dingier. There's this one little dingy spot up here on the burn, but overall great performance here as well. The middle, you can ignore that. That was me trimming the wicks and that falling into the wax instead of me fishing it out. So again, user error. But Snowy Walk was quite nice. I did like this one. Next one I have is Frosted Birch and Balsam. This was actually a restock. I've had this one before. I think I have 2 backups of this. The scent notes are on the bottom of this one, and it is Frosted Birch, Rustic Balsam, Bright Citrus, and Mountain Air. Now, this one is where we get that soot I was talking about. So this one was quite sooty. I don't recall if my one from last year burned so dirty. I don't recall that it did. But this one, I do love the scent. So even though it is dirty, and I perhaps should have popped it into a warmer instead, I did very much like the scent and will enjoy it again, although I might lamp it next time. But this is very much a fresh tree scent. There's not really a whole lot else going on except for the tree. So there's not really mixed with cinnamon or any kind of gourmand elements. It's a pure tree scent on a cool side. Not a warm hearth tree, a cool tree. And I do very much like it. I like all kinds of tree scents. Tree mixed with hearth. Cozy Christmas from Kringle's a great one. But I also like the outdoorsy fresh tree. That's just, you step outside and that cold air really hits your lungs and you smell the trees around you and you just, it makes you feel alive, right? So I very much enjoy that. I will repurchase it, I'm sure, once I run out, assuming they still carry it. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on the dirtiness of that burn because I don't really like that. My walls are sooty enough as it is. I'm sure, if we ever were to move, God forbid, I hate moving, we would have to repaint for sure. And, this way, if we stay in the house, I can paint when I feel like it. which is probably not going to be for a while, if I'm being honest. All right, so going into the next one, this is another one with a similar aesthetic to the other Snowy Walk. This is Snowy Branches. Really pretty label as well. I really did love the art on this one. This one also does not have the scent notes on it. This one, I'll be honest, I did not love as much as Snowy Walk. Snowy Branches, this was a bathroom scent to me. And not because it smelled bad per se. You know, it doesn't smell bad. But it definitely has a little more of a cleaner vibe, and not a citrus cleaner vibe, but more of a, I don't know how to describe it, but maybe bathroom's unfair. Maybe I mean more like body care or perfumey. It is a little perfumey. I can't recall what the scent notes were on this. It's not on the bottom, and I can't recall. But it's definitely more powdery. You get a little bit of tree. There's almost a little bit of mintiness in this one as well, but it's powdery. I'm not a huge fan of powdery scents. If you want to hear me rant for like 30 minutes about a powdery scent, get me started on Kringle's Coven. Whoosh. Nightmare candle for me. Huge powerhouse. Horrific scent to my nose. Tons of people love it, and that's not to disparage Kringle in any way or even that candle. It is just, there is something about that candle that makes me just want to run out of the house and let the candle have it when it's burning. Like, I just don't want to be anywhere around it. So I haven't burned it since I got it. I also haven't decluttered it. I really should, because I know me, and if it's in the house, I'm going to want to burn it just to get rid of it, and just to say that I burned it. Like, I don't like wasting things, but also like, ugh, like, mm-mm. All right, the last Goose Creek candle I have is Hot Cocoa and Peppermint. This one's great. It's exactly what it says it is. Hot cocoa and peppermint. It's blended really well. And I'll be honest, like, if you can get this on sale, like, it is a great scent. Totally worth the price. I mean, Goose Creek has great sales periodically, and you can get these at, $10, $9, $8.99, $7.99 after the holidays. So worth the price. I mean, I know a lot of people don't care for Goose Creek candles, and I understand. Like, they're not as clean burning as Kringle, although I did have a couple Kringles that were quite sooty as well. But the soy wax, you really can't beat it. I mean, it's clean. It's, it is, less toxic. I 100% respect that. With that being said, I do like Goose Creek candles, and I'm not at the point right now where I'm willing to give them up. So I'll probably keep ordering them, and burning them and enjoying them. My kids like them as well. They just have a great variety of scents, and I have found so many that I've liked over the last few years. All right, so getting into Kringles, which are my last and most prodigious, or is that the right word? I don't know. Most numerous number of candles. I tried to use a vocab word, and I'm pretty sure I failed just there, so sorry for that. All right, so let's get with the tiny ones, because I actually have a couple daylights. I had never tried daylights before, but I actually tried a couple daylights in their Christmas scents that released, because I didn't want to commit to buying the full size. So I have a couple. The first one is Vintage Christmas. They're cute. I had heard some mixed reviews on this one, so I didn't want to commit to the full size. But I like it, and I kind of wish I'd bought it. It's a little perfumey, but it reminds me kind of mulled wine. It has some of those, like, mulling spices, and these daylights don't have the scent notes at the bottom, but if I recall, like, it's kind of like it reminds me of a punch mixed with tree. It's definitely warm and inviting. Well, it's hard to describe. It's a warm and inviting scent. Definitely get a little bit of tree, but mostly you get that kind of fruitiness. Like if you were like stewing a bunch of like fruit on the stove. That's kind of what this reminds me of. It's pleasant, although I can see why some people might not like it. It doesn't really give vintage Christmas to me. If I think of that, I don't really, when I think of vintage Christmas, I don't really think of that scent. It definitely seems more like a punchy, I don't even know, like a punchy kind of vibe. Kind of like you're inviting your friends over for mulled wine. That's really how that makes me feel. And I like it. But I don't know that it really matches the vibe I would expect from a vintage Christmas candle, if that makes sense. The second one I have, I actually did get the full size of, a couple full sizes. I got the backups, and that's Christmas Tree Farm. I really liked this one. I love the combination of tree and citrus. And whereas Cozy Christmas has a hearth citrus tree vibe, this is like its cousin when you've been like shoved outside into the snow and you're breathing in like the fresh tree outside and the citrus and the snow. That's what this is. So Cozy Christmas is warm, cozy, inviting. This is, you're outside, you're probably cold, but you get that waft of tree and citrus, and it really is beautiful. I love that combination, and I'm willing to try as many different tree citrus blends as I can get my hands on, because it is a combination I really, really love. So yeah, those are my daylights. You don't get much throw out of them. I use them in the tiny little bathroom downstairs. So if you're looking for any kind of punch, I really did not get much throw out of these, with the exception of Santa's Workshop. I did get a daylight of Santa's Workshop, and I did get a backup of that as well. It's not as big of it's definitely not a universal scent at all. It's not something that you can easily pair with other things, so I will say that. Santa's Workshop I'll have in my February empties. I really enjoyed it, but it's definitely a more unique scent, and it's not going to be as universal as Christmas Tree Farm, but still a really nice scent. So I guess, we don't need to talk about it because, I just talked about it, but this is the full size, which I also emptied of Christmas Tree Farm. Now I will say this one did get a little sooty for me. And I realized that I didn't read the scent notes on the Tiny Daylight because it didn't have them. So let me read them off of this. It's fir needle, balsam pine, orange, wood, and musk. And that's very true to the scent. Again, yeah, I'm not sure why this burned so sooty. I did burn this mostly in my upstairs bedroom, and it got quite sooty. I don't know if other people had that experience with this candle. If you did, let me know. Comment below. I don't know if it's because of the airflow in my bedroom or what. I love that label. The red truck, right? It's quintessential Christmas. Yeah, I don't know if it was the airflow or not. It might be my fault. Maybe I need to maybe if I'd moved it to a different spot, it wouldn't have sooted as much. Speaking of soot, let's go into my other City Kringle candle. And that is Snow-Capped Fraser. This one for me also got quite sooty. Great burn, otherwise. The scent notes on Snow-Capped Fraser are fir, balsam, fresh, green, amber, moss, pine, spice, and wood. I liked this one. It was not a love for me. It's too mossy and green for me personally for a winter scent. When I smell moss or green, it's more springtime. And when I see the Snow-Capped Fraser, I'm expecting more of a cool tree scent. This really was not it. This is more of a woody green moss tree. I know I've said green and moss 1,000 times. But this is definitely more green than I would expect from just a tree scent. So while it's nice, I don't know that this is going to be a repurchase for me. If it is, I would actually see myself burning this as a winter to spring transition scent, because it wasn't purely winter for me personally. It is nice. It isn't as unique to me as some of Kringle's other tree scents. But it was nice. It was nice. And the projection on it was pretty good. Not significant. I would probably give it about a 6. But it did blend well with a couple of the other scents I had going at the time. All right, so next up we've got, one of the 3 wicks here. I did pick up Away in a Manger. Again, love orange scents. Scent notes on this are juicy orange, mint leaf, lemon, clove bud, rose, cinnamon, nutmeg, musk, vanilla, and cashmere woods. That is a lot going on in one candle. It's predominantly orange. It says mint leaf, but I'm going to emphasize the leaf part as opposed to the mint. It is not minty. There is a little bit of greenness in it, but there's no mint that I can smell. There's some woodiness as well. Rose, I don't really smell rose. The clove and the spice, yes, I do smell that, which kind of gives it a little bit of a pomander vibe to it. Lemon, I mean, maybe a little lemon, but I wouldn't say that it's, if there is any lemon in there, it's pretty overshadowed by the orange. This was a nice candle. It was nice. Personally, I think I prefer vintage pomander over this one. Just because I feel like there's a little more spice to it, which I enjoy. This, while a beautiful scent, really doesn't scream Christmas to me. Because the orange is definitely more powerful than the spice. It is a really nice scent, though. I do have one more, because it was being discontinued, and I, even though I'd never burned it before, I did buy another one, just in case it sold out, which it did, so I'm glad I did, because I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it, and to be honest, I might burn this. I could see myself burning this in summer. I do have the Reserve Orange candle, which I don't love, to be honest. But I have it, and it's not a bad candle, but I would probably blend it with something else just to give it a little bit more spice. For whatever reason, just the orange by itself, like the pure orange, I thought I would love it, and I don't. Not bad, but it's, it wouldn't be a repurchase for me. But it is good enough that I will keep burning it because it does blend. The orange does blend really well with other candles. All right, let's see what we have next here. Tinsel time. The scent notes on this one are, I don't know, because this is an older one that doesn't have them on it. Doesn't have the notes on it. Tinsel time. This burned really well for me. The scent, however, is not for me. Really time forward. I don't know if it's thyme that I'm smelling, but it's definitely herbs. Like, it's very herbaceous. I'm not a huge fan of herbaceous scents, if I'm being honest. Not a huge fan. This burned really well. The strength was really good. I'd probably give it about an 8. But it's just not for me. It is very, very herbaceous for me. So while I love the label, and I'm glad I tried it, I got it on sale, I think, maybe the Mother's Day sale last year. I'm glad I tried it, but it's going to be a one and done for me. But if you like, herbaceous scents, like really fresh herbaceous scents, to pair with kind of your more traditional tree scents, this one you'll probably love it. It's just not for me. All right, next one I have is Juniper and Laurel. I love this label. It's so beautiful. The scent notes on this are white juniper, laurel leaves, eucalyptus, jasmine, silver spruce, patchouli, cedar, and pinecone. Now, right off the bat, I do not like eucalyptus or patchouli, but I got 3 backups of this candle. So if you're scared of those scent notes, don't be scared of this candle. This one burned a little dirty for me as well, even though I burned it downstairs. So just throwing that out. I actually did have some dirty burns with some of my Christmas candles. I'm not sure whether it's a me issue or what, but this one's so nice. I love this one. I do love juniper, and you will get juniper in this scent. It is so fresh and bright. It is a very invigorating scent. It's not your traditional tree scent in like a Fraser or anything like that. But it is incredible. You get the tree, but you get that brightness that I think comes from that juniper. and laurel. I don't know that I've really smelled laurel in really any other candle. I don't smell a whole lot of jasmine. Spruce for sure. The pine cone, maybe there's a little bit of woodiness there from a pine cone, but not that you could really pick out. It's a little woody, but it is just a beautiful fragrance. I highly recommend this, and the strength was great. I'd give it about an 8. It did really well in my downstairs open concept. All right, next we have Christmas Stroll. Another beautiful wreath. Scent notes on this are balsam fir, pine, green, moss, sweet spice, and winter air. Okay, now remember Snow-Capped Fraser, how I said it was like mossy and green and a little bit too mossy and green for a winter candle? I don't feel that way about this one. The mossy green note, however it's done in Christmas Stroll, it smells Christmassy to me. This smells like a Christmas candle. And again, this smells like the label. It reminds me of a Christmas wreath, more than a Christmas tree, and I don't know why. There's a little bit, and I'm wondering where that's coming from. I mean, the scent note here is listed sweet. Like, sweet is the listed scent note, but it almost gives a berry vibe to me. I feel like that sweetness is almost like from a berry, like a red berry. But this is a beautiful candle. It's more, again, it's not your typical Christmas tree scent. It's more. I highly recommend Juniper and Laurel and Christmas Stroll. I love them. I think they're great. I have backups of both. It's just different from what you typically experience when you purchase a Christmas scent. And I love it. I love the uniqueness of them. This one was a little bit towards the top. Some soot, but not significant. Nothing like the Juniper and Laurel. For whatever reason, I just really didn't have good luck with a clean burn on that one. But the scent, oh, it's fantastic. Mwah. All right, next one I have is Spiced Orange and Cranberry. Scent notes on this one are spice, berry, citrus, ginger, effervescence, and berry. No. I did not like this one. And I hate to say it, and I don't even want to say it when discussing a candle. There was something about this from the moment I smelled it on cold sniff. And there were some burns where I liked it more than others, but there was something like vomitous about the scent to me. Like it smelled like sickly sweet. And I'm not going to say anything else about it. It was not for my nose. I'm going to, for your sake, I will smell this again to describe what it smells like, but this lived its life in the bathroom. I did burn it through. I did have family members who liked this one. I did not care for it. Definitely orange and berry, I think, are primarily what I smell in this one. I really don't smell any spice. No spice or ginger to speak of. It is orange and berry. And for whatever reason, the combination of that scent, those two scents in this candle, I did not care for it. Fortunately, here's the good part. The throw was not great. So that was kind of the best case scenario. Let's see. Well, what do we have next? Okay. Oh, okay. Vintage Pomander. See, it's been a while since I burned through this one, so it's like seeing them all again for the first time. Vintage Pomander. So the scent notes on this one are orange zest, sweet lemon, clove leaf, cinnamon bark, sheer musk, vanilla, and cedar wood. So really similar to the scent notes in Away on a Manger. Let me actually get Away on a Manger back here so I can kind of do a side-by-side comparison. That'd be fun. Okay. Okay, the first thing I noticed between these two, the Vintage Pomander orange, it's a juicier orange. It's a much juicier orange. This one, it's a more perfumey orange. This feels more like an authentic orange smell. I wonder why it feels more. Is musk in both of them? Yeah, there is musk in both of them. Maybe it's the cashmere. There's a cashmere note in Away in a Manger. Maybe that's giving that perfuminess to it. The rose, maybe. There's no rose in Vintage Pomander. But yeah, I'd say the big distinguishing factor between these two is this leans more perfumey to me. Again, not bad. Not bad at all. But this is more an authentic orange. It's not super spicy. I would say the spice is a little bit more prominent, at least to my nose, in this one. But it's not a spicy candle. Primarily what you're getting is a fresh, juicy orange with a hint of spice. It's really beautiful. I like this one a lot. And I did purchase a backup of it. And if they keep bringing this one back, I'll probably buy more. All right, we are actually closing in on... Well, no, we're actually not. I've got 5 left. All right, next one is... Oh, this one's nice. Aurum and Evergreen. That label, right? Gorgeous. And it smells like the label. High end. So, fragrance notes are sparkling pink grapefruit, green apple peel, Valencia orange, pomegranate juice, cinnamon leaf, strawberry jam, sugar crystals, vanilla snow, and Siberian fir. So a lot going on. This one's really nice. Now, when I first smelled it, it's a little weird. Not off-putting, but it's not like anything I've ever smelled before. It smells like walking into a high-end antique store. Like the woodiness, like the smell of antique, like wood furniture for whatever reason comes to mind, mixed with the fruitiness. Now I get a lot of pomegranate in this one. I do smell the pomegranate. Grapefruit. I don't know about grapefruit. Apple, yes. Strawberry, no. I don't smell any strawberry. It's definitely, for me, it's the tree. It's the tree and the pomegranate. And there's no wood note listed here, but I get a woodiness to it. Like I said, it reminds me of walking into an antique store with a bunch of wooden furniture mixed with fruit. Sounds weird, is weird. Still great. I highly recommend this one. And the throw is amazing. I'd give it like a 9. Amazing throw. And I never went nose blind to it, which is fantastic. All right, next one I have is Cypress and Cinnamon. I love that label. The notes on this one are fir needle, spice, balsam, green, wood, and spice. Spice is listed twice. All right. Now, there is spice. I don't know if there's enough to justify listing it twice, but there is quite a bit of spice. This one's so nice. The only critique I have of this candle is the scent throw. Could be higher. But it is so nice. Like I mentioned, I love the combination of citrus and tree. Now, there is no citrus listed on the bottom of this, but I smell citrus, and it's in the picture. So I'm not sure why it's not included as a scent note. I smell it. It is so nice. It's so fresh. Now, there is more spice in this. There's no real spice in Christmas Tree Farm, so that's the difference there. I don't smell any spice in Christmas Tree Farm, even though it is a tree and citrus scent. This one is spicier. They would actually go really well together. I should have tried that. And I will, because I have backups to both. Do that next year. All right, next one. Cozy Christmas. Scent notes on this are firewood, Nordic cedar, nutmeg, orange rind, and vanilla bean. And I love this one. This is not because of the candle. This is because I poured out the wax into a warmer. So, can't fault Kringle for that. Oh, it's so good. Think sitting by the fireplace with your cat curled up in your lap, drinking a hot toddy. It's so good. Scent throw on this is fantastic. I give it about an 8.5. It is the perfect combination of tree, citrus, and hearth. So good. I think I have 3 backups of this, and we'll continue to buy more. It is amazing. It is amazing. I cannot recommend this candle anymore. Like, it is just, it's fantastic. All right, second to last candle I've got here is Balsam Fir. Scent notes on this are fresh balsam, pine, green, eucalyptus, musk, sweet, and wood. It's a nice candle if you're looking for just like tree with nothing else. Again, it tends to be kind of green, similar to the Snowcap Fraser. There is a very strong green element here, not just strictly tree. I don't get a whole lot of eucalyptus, so if that's something that would otherwise scare you off, I wouldn't worry about that. But it is a very uncomplicated tree scent. And if that's what you're looking for, this might be right up your alley. It did have a great throw. I'll give it about an 8. I got great performance out of it. I guess I'm just someone who likes a little bit more nuance in my tree scents. But it is a nice scent, but it is basic, which isn't a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. If that's what you're looking for, this is a great scent. It just might not be a repurchase for me personally. All right, last but not least is my 4-wick that I've been waiting to pick up because I'm afraid I'm going to drop it. Which, if you know me, is not outside the realm of possibility. All right, my last one is my 4-wick. This is the first 4-wick I ever purchased of Christmas. Scent notes on this one are Siberian fir needles, cedarwood, musk, sandalwood, and wood. So I saved this for last for a couple reasons. One, it's big. Didn't want to drop it. And 2, I have an unpopular opinion about this candle. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't love it. I will repurchase it because I love it. I love the look of it. I love burning it on Christmas Day. I very much like the scent, but it is not my favorite Christmas scent from Kringle. I prefer Juniper and Laurel, Christmas Stroll, Winter Wonder, which I didn't actually empty this year, so it'll have to wait till next year. I prefer those scents. And again, maybe it's because I really like a nuanced Christmas tree scent. There's also one thing about this candle that I don't love, and it comes across as slightly powdery to me. Not so much that it ruins the experience. Like I said, I really do like this candle. I do like it. And I will repurchase it. I have a backup of it upstairs. I will repurchase it because it's a beautiful candle, and what better candle to burn on Christmas Day? But there's a powdery element to it that I don't understand really why it's there or what it's adding. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. Definitely comment if you agree or disagree. I mean, don't come at me too much because my ego's fragile and I might cry. But it's... Definitely let me know. I mean, I do like it, but there's a certain powderiness to it that my nose doesn't love. And I just feel like Juniper and Laurel, Christmas Stroll, Winter Wonder. I know there's others as well. I feel like there's a couple others that I might be missing that I've really enjoyed. Christmas Tree Farm I enjoyed more. Cozy Christmas. I think maybe I'm just weird, but I think I prefer those candles, each of those candles more than this Christmas candle. I know it's a huge seller for Kringle, and I totally get why. But for me personally, I think I prefer the other ones, which I guess is good, right? There's less competition when, the sale comes around. I might be able to snag more of them for myself because I know Christmas sells out so quickly. And again, I get it. No judgment at all. Everybody has their own scent loves, and that's completely fine, and that's what makes this whole thing interesting. So yeah, those are all the candles I burned through in January. I got quite a lot done. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 24, unless I miscounted. So I got a lot of burning done. We'll see. I have this new rule for myself this year where I'm only allowed to purchase half as many candles as I burn. And I have a spreadsheet. And I'm anxious to buy candles. So while I'm sticking to it, and I've done a good job so far, it's only February, it's been rough to have to hold back on the buying of candles because I love trying new scents. But that's okay. That's okay. I think I can do it. We'll see. We'll see. Because I need to pare down my collection a little bit. I've got so many. But that's a different story for another time. I don't know that I'm really in a place where I feel comfortable sharing my enormous stash of candles, because there are a lot, way too many. But it's fun. It's a hobby. And you know what? As far as hobbies go, I think this is a pretty good one. So with that being said, have a great day. Be safe. And till next time, bye.